Hey guys, this is Zach with Team Covenant. We just got the Kessel Run event kit in with Wave 2, all the new ships. They're beautiful. We'll be doing preview videos for all of these ships. We already previewed the Millennium Falcon at Fantasy Flight's World event. You can find that on our YouTube channel or on our website. And we'll be doing a separate video for the A-Wing, Untitled Chapter, and the Slave 1. Super excited about it. I can't wait anymore. I've got to open the Slave. Alright, so you can see amazing packaging, pretty standard for Fantasy Flight. One thing they did that's awesome is they left the back open on the ship to show you all the detail they actually got in there. And let's actually get in there and see that detail. It's pretty amazing. I can't wait to play in this event and see these ships in action. Again, the packaging here is just top tier. And here we have a very gorgeous ship. Not too heavy, but definitely not too light. Like the detail on the back here is just beyond reason. It's gonna go right there. So let me get the stick out so we can get this standing. Very neatly packaged, standard stat sheet and whatnot. Let's bust into it. Now these bases are approximately, maybe exactly, 4 times the size of the standard ship. I guess the small base, these are the mediums. And you can already see, let me find Boba Fett. So there's the stat card for Boba Fett. And we have a large stack of awesome cards, which I am beyond excited to get to. We'll get there in just a second. But let's start here. I'm going to lay out the various stat cards while I'm putting this together so you can see them. First and foremost, we have Boba Fett. We also got Kath, Crass, and then just the standard bounty hunter. So those are some pretty neat things right there. Love the different art on the different ships. Alright, so in these larger, or the medium ships, I guess, the expansions, there's a lot going on. There's a ton of pilot cards, but then there's also these upgrades. So upgrades can usually be used with a bunch of other ships. First thing I want to do is run through all these awesome pilots. Of course, Slave 1, you got to start with Boba Fett. He's got pilot skill of 8, his attack value is a 3, agility is a 2. He's got 6 health, basically 6 hull, and 4 shields. That's beefy. That's 10. And he better be, because he's 39 points, which is about 40% of your armor. Now, he's also got 5 upgrade icons on the bottom, which means you can really deck him out. He could be 60, 70 of your points if you really wanted to. And what's probably most important about him is his ability. What's really cool is when you bank left or right after, whenever it's his turn to go with a pilot skill of 8, he's going to be going pretty close to last. He can actually decide to go left or right after the fact. So if you do bank left and then you decide you actually want to bank right, he can bank right, which is phenomenal. Second is Kath. Now Kath has a pilot skill 7, a little less than Boba, only 38 points. So 1 less point, and you get similar stats, 1 less pilot skill, same upgrades. But when it's attacking, if the defender receives 1 stress token if you nullify a critical hit. So if you roll a critical hit and they evade it, they're taking a stress token, which is going to potentially be interesting. Next pilot skill 5. Again, we're going down a couple points. 36 points, 3 less than Boba. Is Crassus Trelix. Similar stats as far as the left side. When attacking with a secondary weapon, you get to reroll 1 of your attack die. Just all the time. It's pretty crazy. Add in a focus, and you're already rolling 3, range 1, you're rolling 4. The odds of doing 3 or 4 strikes are pretty good, especially if you put the right upgrades on them. Now the final is just the standard generic pilot, which is a bounty hunter. 3 pilot skill, same stat line, only 4 upgrades. So it looks like we're dropping the medallion. Same with actually Crassus drops the medallion. So the bounty hunter, less points, no ability, but some phenomenal stats. We've still got 10 between shields and hull. Beefy, excited, huge ship. It'll be interesting to see a fleet of 1 or 2 or even 3 of these ships. I never really thought about it like that. It was always just, oh, I'm going to run Boba Fett. But you could definitely at least run 2 of these guys and upgrade them pretty heavily. Gonna change the game. All right, so now let's go to the upgrade cards. The first one, the medallion, these can be used on old ships. You know, Vader and X-Wings and all of them, they have this, so you could use it. First thing we have is Expose. It's an action until the end of this round. Increase your primary weapon value by 1 and decrease your agility by 1. So very offensive. You lose a defensive die, but you gain an offensive die. You know, if you're running something with a high pilot skill, maybe a Vader at 9, this could actually be really good because you'll get to attack first, maybe range 1. He doesn't really need the defense. You can even do a second action to evade with him, and you could be easily rolling 4 or 5 dice when otherwise that wouldn't have been possible. 4 points. For 1 point, we have Veteran Tactics. Increase your pilot skill value by 2. That's crazy because until this point, you know, Vader's a 9 pilot skill. So usually he's the trump card. In this case, if you're an 8, you can bump up to a 10 and get past him. If you're a Vader versus Vader, your Vader might have 11. You can even take some pilots for 1 point now who were a 5 or a 6 or a 7 and bump them all the way up to really, I mean, that's going to be a great card. When you only have a couple of points left to spend, you don't necessarily want to spend them all, that's going to be a card that you use. Now, we also have 2 new types of cards that come in here, which are upgrades and titles. Titles, these can go on any ship. They don't have to have the icon. They can be on anything. So the first thing, we'll go to a title. It's called Slave 1. Your upgrade bar gains this icon. So the upgrade cards that are that, it's 0 cost. So basically this card gives you the title Slave 1, and it's unique, so you can only have 1 on your side of the board. But it gives you that, so you can all of a sudden add upgrade cards that you were unable to add before. It says Firespray only title, so you can't add it to any ship, but you can add it to this one. Then the upgrades, it looks like there's 2 of the same card, Stealth Device. Increase your agility value by 1. If you're hit by an attack, discard this card. So, again, this is more defense-minded. You get an extra defensive die, and as long as you don't get hit, you get to keep it. But it's the moment you get hit, you're no longer stealth. It goes away. Very powerful card. And this is a modification, and this can go on any ship, 3 points. So I expect that we will see this on ships that get loaded up with lots of cards that don't want to get hit. It'll be interesting to see for sure. And then finally we have a new kind of card, which are bombs. The bombs are marked with a symbol, and the bombs are actually pretty cool. I'm going to show you how it works. So the way bombs work is you take your base, you take the 1 template straight back, and then you take the bomb template and you line it up just like this. And now that bomb is going to be dropped right there. So we'll leave it. And that bomb is going to do whatever these cards say that they do. So there's 2 different kinds of bombs. The first one at 2 points is the Seismic Charge. When you reveal your maneuver dial, you get to drop this. You can discard this card to drop the bomb. Now what happens is at the end of this activation, the bomb detonates. And we have to reference the bomb token card to know what this bomb does. The Seismic Charge token, which is dropped because of this bomb, when this bomb token detonates, each ship at range 1 of the token suffers 1 damage. Then discard this token. So the second bomb that we have is the Proximity Mine. Now this actually requires an action. Discard this card to drop 1 Proximity Mine token. When a ship executes a maneuver, if its base or maneuver template overlaps this token detonates. When a Proximity Mine blows up, here's what happens. When this bomb token detonates, the ship that moved through or overlapped this token rolls 3 attack dice and suffers all damage and critical damage rolled. Then discard this token. That is insane. 1 bad roll, and you know this is before actions happen. So you don't have evade tokens, you don't have anything. You just roll 3 strikes and you take what you get. So this bomb is crazy. You know, then I think about you combine this with Slave 1, you can go left or right. Your opponent moves a ship, and then it's like, oh, I'm going to go right this time, drop a bomb behind me, and you're on it. It actually becomes even more interesting when you talk medium-based ships versus medium-based ships, because the odds of you being on top of this bomb are way higher. So if it's slave versus slave and one of us drops the bomb in the right spot, you could be taking some damage you weren't expecting. Very cool cards, and they have to be powerful for 2 and 3 points apiece, but awesome. This is absolutely going to change the game. Can't wait to see just how different everything is after this is like. Everyone's good with these things. Okay, so this token is a Seismic Charge token, which we saw earlier in my example. But I just realized that this is the Proximity Mine token, which is much larger. So the Seismic Charge, anything at range 1 is what takes the damage. proximity mine, anything, once something's on it is when this detonates. That is insane. That is a huge token. There's no way to get around that. And even if you just drop it right here and then you do your thing, like, someone's going to hit that. Drop it between some asteroids, like that, someone's getting blown up because of that. There's no way around it. Someone's dying. Very awesome. Super excited about that. So more cards. We have basically Copilot Upgrades. The first one we have is the Gunner. For 5 points, after you perform an attack that does not hit, immediately perform a primary weapon attack. You cannot perform another attack this round. So if you miss, you can shoot again with your primary weapon, which is important. So there's two kinds of attacks before we go any further. There's primary and there's auxiliary. With your primary weapon, which is your standard attack, you can actually shoot, according to these ship cards, forward or backwards, which is crazy. With your secondary attack, you have to shoot forward. So in this case, if you miss your first one, you could actually shoot backwards again. Pretty powerful, but it is 5 points. The second one is the Mercenary Copilot for 2 points. When attacking at range 3, you may change one of your hit results into a critical hit result. Pretty big deal for 2 points. If you tend to have this ship not very close to the action, that could be a huge upgrade. Then we have the standard attack upgrades. These can be used on most ships. The assault missiles for 5 points. You roll 4 dice at range 2 or 3. Spin your target lock and discard this. If the attack hits each other ship at range 1, the defender suffers a damage. So you hit, it explodes, and everything next to it's taking the damage. Now I believe that also includes your own ships. So be careful where you're launching this missile. The next one is the homing missile, which I'm excited to figure out what happens. 4 dice, range 2 or 3. You discard it to perform this attack. Don't even have to have a target lock. 5 points. The defender cannot spend evade tokens during this attack. That could also be a big deal. They waste their action on an evade token. You do the homing missile at range 3. You roll 4 dice at range 3. And they can't use any evade tokens. Could definitely take out some TIE fighters. So those are the 4 upgrade cards. Now we get to bigger weapons. First one we have is the ion cannon, which we've come to know and love. 3 dice, 3 points, range 1 to 3. Attack 1 ship. If this attack hits, the defender suffers 1 damage and receives 1 ion token. Then cancel all dice results. So if you get a hit and they don't evade at all, they get an ion token, standard fare with the ion cannon. Then we have the heavy laser cannon, which is actually 7 points. That's almost a ship. Range 2 or 3, 4 dice, you can attack a ship. Immediately after rolling your attack dice, you must change all of your critical hits to regular results. So it's a secondary weapon. You can hit something at range 3 with 4 dice, but you aren't going to get a critical with it. That's actually really good. I'm thinking of TIE fighters or X-Wings without shields at this point, or just that's another attack of 4 dice. Range 3 even is just, it's crazy. It's actually phenomenal. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we have all these upgrade cards, all 4 pilots, the bomb token card, the ion token card, everything you need, and this is just the Slave 1. We're just getting started. So if you want to pre-order this, we have it at teamcovenant.com/store. We also have all the other Wave 2 ships, and if you're seeing this after it's come out, you can still order it from us. We'd love to help you out. If you don't have a friendly local game store you get it from. But yeah, this is awesome. We'll definitely be posting videos with this in it, matches. Absolutely changes the way Star Wars X-Wing is going to be played.